Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
The #1 long-form writer that helps SEOs outrank competition at the click of a button using real-time research and NLP. Start ranking content today with contentatscale.ai.
So, good afternoon, everyone. As Becky introduced me, I'm Kathy Wong, and this is my topic today. Clicker. So, according to a recent research, 71% of consumers think that it's important for brands to understand their frustrations and know what's important to them. So the main purpose of a search engine is to provide users what they're searching for and to help resolve their questions. So in this case, their frustrations. As an SEO, our day-to-day job is to provide content people are looking for and to maximize their visibility. So how does the latest EAT update affect what we have been doing, and what does it mean for future SEO strategy formulation? In this presentation, I'll cover the basics of EAT, the importance of it, and how to improve with some practical examples. So question first, what is EAT? So EAT is made up of 4 pillars. The first E stands for experience, and the second E stands for expertise. Together, they represent the experience and expertise of the content creator. A stands for authoritativeness of the content creator and the website. And lastly, T, trustworthiness. It's the credibility of both the content creator and the website. And as Kelly mentioned, it is the most important pillar among all. As you can see, it sits in the middle of the chart. So it could be built by working on and signaling experience, expertise, and authoritativeness. So all in all, it's about perfecting the web experience for users by providing them high-quality content. If we take a step back and look at the Google updates in the last decade or so, we can see they all evolve around search experience, and EAT is actually embedded in most of them. We have content-related updates like Panda and the Hummingbird, which focus on creating high-quality, unique content, optimizing for the search intent and the audience, rather than for search engines. As mobile phone and phone searches gain popularity, Google released updates around mobile friendliness and page speed. We also have link spam update, product reviews update, the introduction of schema and rich snippets. So all this help Google to evaluate what is a good content and help Google to provide them and show them in a clear and structured way to users. So again, all these updates, they share the same objective, which is to show the right content to the right users in the best way possible. And we can see the resemblance with EAT. Now that we know EAT has long been in the SEO game, who should actually care about it? I would say definitely content creators who produce word by word, webmasters, especially for your money, your life sites, for example, health or financial related websites, to basically anyone who wants to improve their site visibility. Even though EAT is not a direct Google ranking factor, it is a very important concept in SEO. As we all know, trust is the most important pillar, and by building trust across channels, it could help improve your brand affinity. Google wants to serve results with stronger EAT signals to users, and high EAT signals does not only impact crawlers, it also have a long-lasting impact for users. So it can help strengthen and reinforce your position as an industry leader. Last but not least, trust could definitely help you to improve your conversion rate. So for a brand, it would simply mean more conversions and higher revenues. Next, I'm sure you want to know, what are the exact ways I could do to improve my site's EAT? So I'll cover each pillar with some actionable recommendations. First one is experience. It was added around 1 year ago, And what Google is looking for here is real first-hand experience, as they are helpful and infallible to users. According to a recent survey, customers of all age groups are trusting online information less, from product information, expert opinions, to consumer reviews. It could be a byproduct of misinformation spotted online. So what customers start to look for is hints of real first-hand experience over fake or paid reviews. So as a reviewer or an individual contributor, you can demonstrate your experience by adding media to your reviews or content, because 60% of consumers, they would look at user-generated images or videos when they learn about a new product, a new offering. So it's a material users would love to see on your website. You could also be as specific as possible, from describing the purchase journey, the shipping, the features of the product, because this is an information that you could show users you have been through and are familiar with what you are reviewing on. As a real user, you should also show how you have been using the product, any use cases, or any pain points or things you don't like about it. You could also provide your own recommendations or alternatives based on your experience to show other users. So all this type of content, they are irreplaceable and very hard to come up with unless you are familiar with what you're writing on. So you may wonder, if I'm not a reviewer or an individual contributor, but as a brand or a business, how does that fit in? Well, you can incorporate it in your customer journey. So the cycle on the right represents a very standard journey, which normally ends after a brand provided their product or their service. So as a brand, you could extend the cycle by adding a step, staying in touch with your customers, advocating, and encouraging them to voice out their satisfaction with you as a brand. It could be in forms of testimonials, reviews, or ratings on third-party platforms or social medias, as this could help build your brand's trust factor. So as customers are being more skeptical with online information, it's actually not that hard to spot fake or paid reviews online. And I'm sure many of you have came across, there are companies on Amazon, they would offer vouchers or gift cards to customers in exchange for 5-star ratings. And they did not leave me with a good impression. So here's a reminder to all businesses, you should never bribe customers for reviews. What's more important is your response, because having a bad ratings is not the end of the world. You should respond to reviews, regardless if they're positive or negative, because this could show users your presence as a real business and add a human touch to them. After all, it's not only about the quantity of reviews you have, but the quality. And again, how do you communicate with your users or customers? The second pillar is expertise. So it's a fairly straightforward concept, and there are a few things you could consider putting on your website, because users would generally rely on this to understand if someone is an expert. It could be the name of the expert, the contact details, the experience in the field, what's their education background, the profession, and also how other users interact with this person. For example, will people go to this person with questions or asking for their advice? So obviously, a very good instance in the SEO community would be someone like John Miller. As an expert, people would also expect your content to be unique, in-depth, and accurate. So a piece much more than just rephrasing or summarizing, but something coming from you. So it could be your own commentary, your point of view on a topic. I know this might look quite similar to that of experience, and at times, people might be confused between the two pillars. So here's a little differentiation of the two pillars. So experience is generally more subjective. It's written more on the personal narration based on someone's first-hand experience. And expertise is usually more objective because it's based on someone's testable knowledge or their skills. An example here would be a medical expert does not necessarily have the experience using a treatment or a medicine. And a patient using the same kind of medicine for a decade does not necessarily make them the medical expert. Nonetheless, these two pillars, their intention is to create trustworthy content, regardless you're producing an informational or commercial page. So differentiating these two pillars is not necessary as long as you know that you're providing something people are following, and it could help your users. Third, we have authoritativeness. So the ultimate goal in here is to become the go-to source of a topic, and that takes strategy. So some people might think having an expert author would do the trick. However, guest posting alone would not help you go a very long way unless you have a plan behind. You know what you want to write about. So that takes us to content strategy. It's another branch of learning itself, so I'll focus on your users and rising trends here. The first thing to building a content strategy is to understand your users or customers. And one way you could do so is by segmentation. You divide users into distinct groups based on some of their shared characteristics. It could be their age, their career, or geographic location, etc. And this could help you to understand if there's any particular needs of your users, what are their preferences. Knowing your users alone is not enough. You also have to know what are the differences between this group of users and the other, because it would affect the type of user, the type of information you should serve them. Once you're able to recognize the differences and the uniqueness of your users, you then can create content to relate with them on a more personal level. So in the long run, it could enhance your content relevancy to this particular group of user, and they will rely on you for more information. Spotting and knowing trends is equally important. As we all know, the same search query could have a different meaning over time. As a specialist in the field, you should know inside the news quicker than the general public, or even sometimes you are the creator of a new trend. If you don't feel like innovating or creating something brand new, you could also consider concentrating in a niche area or topic and try to become the top-notch contributor in it, because the timeliness and uniqueness of your content could help make you the go-to source of a topic. Last but not least, we have trustworthiness. So there are 4 things customers would follow in when they build trust with you as a brand. So first up, professional design. It could be interpreted from a technical SEO and user experience point of view. So technical SEO is essential in ensuring your users are browsing smoothly on a secure website. Customers' confidence in your brand might drop if your site is taking too long to load or is too complicated to use. All of your content should be accessible to your users at all times, and they should be up to date. So if you see any broken links, fix them, and also avoid any unnecessary redirects. These 2 are vital not only in building your trust with customers, but it can also lower your site's bounce rate. So it's crucial to lay a good foundation for SEO. Lastly, you should install SSL certificate because customers would then know all the sensitive information are stored and retrieved securely. To build good user experience, there are 2 more things you could think about other than improving your site navigation or customer journey. The first thing, it could be a rookie mistake for some people, but just to avoid any placeholders of text or images on your website, because it would make your site look unfinished and unprofessional. You could also consider building some interactive tools, because it helps you to present your content better to users and also help users to understand and digest your content. So an example here is the payee text calculator by actionable. What it does is that of course, people just simply put in some numbers, and it helped people to get what they need and bypassing the long, complicated formulas behind. Online reputation is another core part in building trust. So 77% of respondents say they would specifically seek out websites with reviews before making the decision. And the number is even higher with millennials and Gen Z consumers. It's also important to note that over 50% of the respondents say they will not trust ratings without reviews. So what does it mean? You should not only show your rating counts or scores, but show people your reviews. And of course, even better, customer testimonials. If you have any awards badges, again, show them. But celebrating on your own website, it's not enough. You should monitor and also improve your third-party review platforms, your social media like Trustpilot, Instagram, channels people could reach you as a brand. This step is crucial not only for prospective customers, but it's also about building the brand knowledge and image for people who are not yet ready to convert. But once they are, they will remember your brand. So for transparency, again, you should make your policies available on your website. They could be your shipping policy, privacy policy, return policy, and also make sure customers know the way to get in touch with you if they have any questions or facing any difficulties. When we talk about building business identity, it's always good to have an About Us page to show users about the history of your website or brand, anything you want to achieve with it, and if you have any social media profiles, link to them so you can connect with your users on multiple channels to achieve brand affinity. So, if I were to summarize EAT in one sentence, I would say it's all about experience. It's the experience users have from their awareness stage to decision-making stage. It's the experience users have from the moment they saw your brand on SERP, on your website, to third-party platforms or social media. It's the experience users have when they thought of your brand. And that's EAT. Thank you, everyone, for your interest and time.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.